Hey everybody, welcome to Grandma Hershey Cooks. I'm Grandma Hershey, spelled with a U and not an E. Okay, so today is episode 127. Yes, and we are making butter pecan cookies. Pecan, potatoes. Whichever way you want to sound, they're still good. Okay, so and this makes 30 cookies. All right. So, and we still have little stupid monkey. I've tried almost everything on that list. And so I got, I think, 3 things left on the list to try so that we can communicate at the same time. So anywho, leave your comments anyway in the chat box. All right. Because I love looking at them later when I review the show. All right. So let's talk about the healthy highlights. So for one cookie is 126 calories. And I'll show you what it looks like. They're about that size, so it's not bad. So, but I wouldn't want to go past 2. Okay, we're watching all that loveliness. So, anywho, the saturated fat is 3. The cholesterol is 13.5. The sodium is 89. The carbs is 8.9 before the fiber. The sugar is 4.3, so it's diabetic friendly. The protein is 1.6. The fiber is 0.9. So our net carbs altogether are 8 carbs. Okay. So it's keto low for a meal, but not for a cookie. So anywho, it's FDA low, so it all depends on what you're doing for you right now. Okay, so anywho, that's enough of that. So I'm going to tell you the ingredients, and then we're going to get started because time is of the essence around here. We don't have all day. Okay, so we have 1 stick of unsalted butter. We have 1 stick of margarine. That's our Marjo butter. We have a 1/2 cup of date sugar and a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. We use no artificial sweeteners this time, okay? Because date sugar is very low in carbs and sugar, okay? Then we have 1 large egg, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now, my liquid vanilla extract is gone. But thanks to my niece in Colorado, I still have the powder vanilla extract. And so for that, you only need a 1/2 teaspoon per teaspoon of liquid. So that's what we have in this one, but the recipe calls for the liquid. So you do you, boo. Okay, these are your cookies. Then we have a 1.5 cups of almond flour, 1 cup of sorghum flour, a teaspoon of xanthan gum, because remember, when you have gluten-free flour, you need something to bind it, and that's where your xanthan gum comes in. Okay. Then you have a teaspoon of baking soda, a 1/2 teaspoon of our favorite kosher salt, and a cup of chopped pecans. Okay. So now what we're going to do, what you're going to do first is you're going to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Then you're going to take, hopefully this fan won't blow the paper away. You're going to take, which way am I going? Which camera? What? You gotta take a baking sheet. I like this big one because it can do 3 dozen cookies in one whack. And then you take your parchment paper and put in there. And for this big old pan, you need 2. Okay. And so, but if you don't have parchment paper, you can do the old way and grease it with some margarine or butter or spray it, okay, with some nonstick spray. But I like to use the parchment paper. But anywho, that's what you do first. Then you're going to take your Marjo butter. You're going to take your Marjo butter. We're going to put this in the bigger bowl. All right. Take your Marjo. And guess what? When you soften it first, you take it out the refrigerator at the beginning of the day. By the time you get there, you won't even need the beaters. Because if you notice, we don't have a beater. And it works. Okay. So let's put in the Marjo butter. Come on out, butter. See how soft that is? Especially the butter. Margarine is a little firmer, but hey, it's soft enough to get stirred up with our sugars. So there is the Marjo butter. And then we're going to put our sugars in there. So I've got the powdered vanilla flavor, and I've got the brown sugar and the date sugar. Okay, we're going to put that in next because we have to cream it. Okay. Woo-hoo. Remember that one time I made those cookies and the brown sugar was hard as a brick. I'm going like, whoa, that's not good. We had to do the show over the next day. So anyway, you can go ahead and you can stir. It's going to cream as you stir it. You put mix the sugars with your Marjo butter. Okay, spoon. Maybe I should have used a metal spoon or a fork. Anywho, it's going to work. The Kitchen Angels did it last night, and it worked out just lovely. See how it's getting in there? Mm-hmm. No, anyway. And see, this is a recipe that you can have your kids do. They won't have to turn no beater on. You can have the little kids even do it. See how it's creaming up? Yep. This is how they did it before they made beater. Get a little exercise in there. The worst thing that I had to do as a kid was beat those doggone egg whites with a fork. The worst thing ever. All right, see, so this is nice and creamy. Ta-da! All right, didn't have to turn no beaters on. Okay, so now in the other bowl, I hope this fan don't blow. Oh wait, we're gonna add our egg next. Now, if you're really watching your cholesterol, you can also use 3 tablespoons of liquid eggs, and that equals 1 egg, and that'll give you way less cholesterol. Although this one didn't give us much because we got 30 cookies. Okay, so we're going to stir the egg in here too before we do the flour. All right. It's stirred in real good so it can mix up well. Okay, now we got that nice in there. It's a little liquidy. So this will kind of be called your liquid batter. Okay, now this bowl, this out of the way, is what we're going to use for our flours. Okay, so we have the 1.5 cup of almond flour. This container right here. Sure that thing don't blow it. There we go. Then we have our 1 cup of sorghum flour plus our baking powder plus our salt and whatever else was dry. That was it. And we're going to pour that into that flour. Okay. So maybe I'll put that in here so you can see this. There we go. And then we're going to stir it up together and mix it real fine. And the xanthan gum is in here also. Mix that together real well before we get it mixed up with the wet batter. That way the xanthan gum gets distributed to all the flour. And so will the baking soda and the salt and the vanilla. You know that vanilla bean ice cream, you got the little black spots in it, dark spot. That's like the powdered vanilla. It'll do that for you. So if you make some vanilla bean ice cream, then you can add some of that in place of the regular vanilla flavor. Yep. And it really tastes good. It really does. It's a little more expensive, but it really tastes good. All right, now. So we're going to put about half of this in here first to the dry or wet mixture. Okay. Maybe a little less than half. Then we're going to just stir it on into it. Let it soak up the flours. And as you stir it, it will become a little more firmer. The one thing about this cookie dough, it didn't get real firm like the sugar cookie dough, you know, those kind of was really thick. It didn't get that firm. So it's still kind of soft when you're finished. But it made great cookies, as you can see on the picture. Yes, indeed. All righty. Let's pour some more in here. Guess we did a third at a time. All right. And this spoon is a little different because it's it's almost like a ladle. Anywho, it's working. That's all we want it to do is to work. Okay. Work it, baby. Work. That's all we want. Okay. Well, Grandma Hershey found her a new apartment. So next month we'll be moving in, and then we'll have a different kitchen to cook from. We'll see how that works. Okay. Now, see, it's stiffening up a little bit. So now we put our last little bit in there. That's in our dry mixture. The last little bit. Okay. Trying to make a little space so when I bring that pan up here to do the cookies, to show you how the cookies go. Anywho, we just put that over there for now. All right. Now let's stir up the last part. And it's going to be a doughy, just not as hard as the other one. And that's probably because of the amount of butter we have in here. Margarine butter, that's 2 sticks. That's like making a pound cake. And it tastes, to me, it almost tastes like those Pecan Sandies. I love those things. And then at first I said, this tastes like some little butter cookies, except for it's got nuts in it. That's pretty much how Pecan Sandies taste. So, anywho, see, now we got us a dough. And it's not runny, but it's not as hard, as firm, I guess I should say. Scoop that out, make sure everything's getting in here. All the margarine butter. Yeah, looks like it's all there. Okay. And then the very last step, the pecans, baby. And if you don't like pecans, then you can rename it the walnut butter cookie. Whatever nuts you like, or don't have no nuts and just name it the butter cookie. This is the pecan butter cookie. Throw that cup of peas in there and stir that in all the way through the dough, because you want pecans on every bite. Okay. I love nuts in my cookies. Love, love, love them. That's because I'm a nut. I just like to have fun. That's all. Love to have fun. As long as I ain't hurting nobody. That's what I say. Have all the fun you want as long as you don't hurt nobody. Okay. All right. Our dough is made. See? Every piece got some pecans in it. All right. So now all I'm going to do on this part right here is show you how I scoop it. Okay. Now, fan, do not blow my paper away. All right. Here we go. I'm going to bring the tray up here. Woo-hoo. And I'm going to put this on here to make it not blow away. Okay. So now you're going to take a tablespoon and you're going to scoop out a tablespoon worth like that. Then you're going to put it on your paper. This thing just a blowing. I had my little helper thing. I don't know what happened to it. And then since this uses xanthan gum doesn't allow it to spread like regular dough, okay, like your gluten flour. So you just want to smash it a little bit. You want to smash it a little bit so that it'll take kind of like a cookie shape. And then as it cooks, it'll expand a little. So you want to help it out, okay? But that's your gluten-free pecan. Okay, and this will make 30 cookies, and you can spread them like 1 inch apart. And I mean, they really came out good. So, but I need you to do right now before we taste these cookies, I need you to do the thumbs up button. Then, if you have not subscribed already, click subscribe, and you're going to see a bell. Then click that bell, and at the top, you'll see a black bell. Click that bell. That way, when I come on just to say I love you or whatever I'm doing, you're going to get a notice about it. Okay? So we're going to set this over here for now. All right. So now, let's see what those kitchen angels did. And here's one with a whole lot of pecans. I said, now which two be best for the show? So we're going to taste this and make sure it's not pausing. All right. Mm-hmm. All you need is your favorite milk. I like the vanilla almond. Or even the chocolate one would be good. Or you can have you a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and enjoy these cookies. Mm-hmm. Now let's take one for the team. We always got to take one for the team. That are soft. Mm-hmm. Now, if you want crunchy, I don't know what to tell you. These are soft cookies. So, anywho, they're delicious. So now, let's get to the shout outs. Okay. Shout outs today. Still got some cookies. Okay. That is really good. Shout out to Marcy, Alex, and my friend Deborah Allen, because I got two Deborahs that watched the show. This one was Deborah Allen. She watched the show for the chicken curry chicken. You know how grandma is. Grandma Hershey. I'm gonna curry chicken. And so anyway, shout out to Merle. Got some dough on my fingernail. To Merle and Sabelle, to Diana and Fitzy the cat. So remember the cartoon Felix the cat? Felix the cat, the wonderful, wonderful cat. So today I was singing Fitzy the cat, the wonderful, wonderful cat. Fitzy, that's for you. Then to my niece in Colorado, to Andreas, my sister. She the one came up with the Marjo butter. To my friend Reggie, to Aya, to Naji, to Kay and Regina. Shout out to Tom and Cassie, to my great-granddaughters Rising and Soul, and to my score mentor John. And we have a meeting after the show. And to Amanda. Okay. And I just want to thank you guys for looking and watching. And if you watch the show today, just say your name or something so I can shout out to you next week. Okay. So now we didn't have no birthdays this week. So if you have a birthday coming up in the next 7 days, send me an email or put it in the chat thing. My email is grandmahursheycooks@gmail.com. That's all one word spelled with a U, not an E. Okay. So next week, we're going to do sweet potato cornbread. How that sound? If you like sweet potato pie, you're going to like the sweet potato cornbread. So that's what we got for next week. So that's all we got for today. So I'm so glad you came by. And it's hot outside, but I feel right good with this fan right now. Okay. And so let's do it again next week. How about that? See you later. Love you. Mwah. And hug somebody. Oh, and share the show. Share it with your friends, your neighbors, your relatives, your family, and your enemies, because everybody got to eat. We got to feed the world. Can't leave without saying that. Okay. Anyway, love you guys. Mwah. Hug somebody. Tell them you love them.